Hey, what's up guys, TechTime here and I'm back again with a brand new video. So Samsung has just announced the Galaxy A37 and the Galaxy A57 as far as their sort of higher end Galaxy A lineups. And they will go on sale and will be available in the US starting April 9th. Now mainly here I will be focusing on the Galaxy A37. I will be making another video on regards to the Galaxy A57. So the Galaxy A37 will have a starting price point at $449.99, which is $50 more than the previous generation. Now that's kind of disappointing, but kind of expected. So are the changes that Samsung have made worth it? Well, here are my first impressions. Beginning with the design itself, one of the first things that I noticed is that they really didn't change much as far as looks. Alright, so Samsung kept it true. The A37 still carries the same sort of design from the previous generation with a slight tweak to the camera island itself as far as they call it. So the camera design, the housing of it is slightly different, which looks a little bit cooler, but other than that, realistically, as far as the bag goes on the Galaxy A37, it still is made out of the same material. The sides of the phone are still plastic. You still get that bump in between the power and volume up and down. Yeah, everything else as far as design on the A37 is pretty much the same. Nothing has changed. And you still get the same USB-C that supports 45 watt of fast charging, so nothing crazy. I am disappointed that they didn't include wireless charging yet again. We see wireless charging with a phone like the Moto G Power that is $100, $150 cheaper, which pretty much raises a question that doesn't make sense to me. I mean, come on, Samsung. We should have had wireless charging on the A37 by now, especially since you're bumping up the price. Okay, so moving on to the display. Again, not much has changed as far as the display goes. Needless to say that the Galaxy A37 still has a really solid display. So it's a 6.7-inch display, basically the same Super AMOLED display from the previous generation, 120 Hz refresh rate, a fairly bright display that really doesn't give me much to complain about. I mean, other than the bezels being the same size, which doesn't bother me. So the exact same display carried over from the previous generation is not really something that I can complain about. It was a great display then, it's going to be a great display now. So the display department, thumbs up. Samsung knows how to make a solid display. So as far as the camera goes, it again carries over from the previous generation. So you still get the same 50 megapixel main sensor, 8 megapixel ultra wide, the disappointing 5 megapixel macro sensor that I still don't know why is still here. The 50 megapixel main sensor still gives us optical image stabilization and does a pretty good job in your day-to-day scenarios. Now, while they really didn't change much as far as the camera sensor goes, they did, however, manage to give us slightly better image processing due to the newer CPU and the newer GPU. So you will see slight improvements in the photo and video quality. However, it's not going to be significant. Once I get the phone in-house April 9th, I will do my testing and I will share with you guys the differences. So from a performance perspective, Samsung did actually improve the CPU and GPU. So based on their analysis, you will get a 12% improvement in CPU and 19% improvement in GPU. And I think that's due to the fact that they're trying to push the AI a little bit heavily on the generations of the A37 and even the A57, which we will talk about later. So this time around, they will be using their own proprietary Exynos chip in the both national and international model. And another thing that I forgot to mention is that both the A37 and the A57 do have IP68, which is an improvement over the IP67 from the previous model. But that still raises the questions. While the performance is going to be better on this generation, is the entire phone worth it to upgrade if you have the Galaxy A36, especially with the price bump? In my opinion, just right off of impressions, no, not really. If you have the A36, keep it for another generation or try to upgrade to something else at that point because it doesn't really make sense. The differences from the A36 and A37 are not convincing enough, in my personal opinion, for you guys to upgrade. But with that being said, make your own judgment. Once I get the phone in-house, it might change my ideology about the device. Maybe it will be worth it as far as an upgrade. We'll see. But until then, I do want you guys to stay subscribed so that way you don't miss out the unboxing and the actual review of the A37. If you enjoyed this video, found it useful, make sure you leave a thumbs up. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Like I said, a lot of great content is in the works and coming really soon, so stay tuned for that. And I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.